is the favourite, and number 8 is Kashina Falls, his second pick. And at Newmarket with his call of race 6, here's Ian Bartlett.
I think they've won the battle with number 2, Bob's Buzz, safely installed in stall 4. No one the worse for those antics beforehand. I think we're set. Let's cross to Barty.
So Jimmy Byrne about to take his position, one off those rails in stall number 2, and Docklands Prince coming forward as well. Bob's Buzz is just a little bit restless in stall number 4. He's the one that unseated Tom McLaughlin before the race. Jimmy Byrne's in. Docklands Prince coming forward to stall 6, all in. And they're off. 7 furlongs they have in front of them. Few a little bit slow to stride. Authority wasn't the best away. Bob's Buzz and Kashina Falls also a bit slow into stride, but the colour change Strike Lucky is going to lead him in the early strides. Not a great gallop, being tracked by Viente Siete, and then Authority has now got through into stride and moves through with the leaders. The green and beige on the outside, Kashina Falls, is showing up there as well. Jimmy Byrne in the dark blue and red against the rails, and then comes Docklands Prince, and up on the outside with his white face is Bob's Buzz. So they head on down to the last half mile. Strike Lucky just about in front. Kashina Falls, though, Darrell Holland coming to join this one. Then a length further back to Authority, racing in 3rd place. Against the rails is Viente Siete, then Bob's Buzz. Next is Docklands Prince, who's being pushed along and just passed by Jimmy Byrne. Heading with about 3 to go then. Strike Lucky and Kashina Falls continue together in front. Bob's Buzz has travelled up there well on the outside. Authority in the light blue jacket pushed along. Then comes Viente Siete, and don't count out Jimmy Byrne, is being switched to the outside for a run. Inside the final 2, and it's Bob's Buzz who's taken it up with his white face. Authority trying to get on terms. Here's Jimmy Byrne on the outside with a challenge. They meet the rising ground now, and Jimmy Byrne, Stephen Drown on the outside, takes it up now from Bob's Buzz. Authority on the inside, they're battling away, but Jimmy Byrne has got the lead and wins by about a length or so. Authority in 2nd place. Bob's Buzz was in 3rd. They're clear from front runners. Strike Lucky 4th.
Another tremendous day for Steve Drown. Mick Shannon this time. Jimmy Byrne, experience has told here. He's come with a swooping run on the outside and he's conquered.
Yes, he has, and the favourite had absolutely every chance from a long way out as he tracked Kashina Falls on the rails.
A little bit slowly away, but he soon got into a good position. They haven't gone mad earlier on, have they?
That's right. There wasn't any great pace, and he was able to manoeuvre up and get across towards the one off the rail. Had every possible chance. You know, seemed to battle, didn't seem to be doing anything wrong either, did he?
No.
Just not good enough.
At this stage, Bob's Buzz was the horse that took it up. This was an encouraging one, isn't it? From just one start last year, first time out this year.
Yes, he's a nice sort of gelding, but finally it was the other gelding. There's a lot of geldings in this race. I read such that Jimmy Byrne had an outing at Newbury over 7
beaten
furlongs.
that day as well. Started at a 50-to-1 shot, so there was obviously no confidence. I just worry about how good this race was. Do you?
I did. You know, beforehand there was, as I said, one horse that looked outstanding, but it's a new race, Emma. I don't know where it came from or what. It's never been run a 7-furlong 3-year-old race at this meeting before.
No, the Highland Helmwall Maiden Stakes. As you say, I don't think it was the strongest contest in the world, and really Authority a little bit disappointing if you believe the vibes beforehand. Who's the SPs?
Right, well, don't worry about the SPs. That Steve Drown rode that winner, and that's a winning double for him. So Richard Hughes and Steve Drown, they've been the stars so far at Newmarket today. I suppose you'd have to say that in the light blue and dark blue colours there, down near the inside, that was the favourite Authority, and was sort of cluttered up behind them, Michael.
Well, he wasn't. He got out in time. You could see the winner actually shifted across there, and Bob's Buzz got on his heels there at one part. I don't know whether there'd be a grounds for an objection. I'm not really sure, but the first and third horses were the only two that had raced, and they had a pretty ordinary form, one start each.
Might be a race of not a great deal of significance then. Well, of course, as we all know that Dane Hill, the grandsire of Choiseul, is no longer with us. Brendan Parnell compiled this tribute. Is a fillies race. Michael, what do you think about this?
The top-rated horse here is a horse called number 9, Theatre Lady. It ran third of 15 to Music Made in an apprentice event at Salisbury at its most recent outing, from a number 5 Petite Futé. It's another one that won a handicap at Leicester, and it also won a claimer at Newmarket. That was in 2002. His current form's been a bit ordinary, but if you go on his previous form, he would be given some chance in this. Number 4 Bittersweet's the third pick, from number 3 Doris Suter, and number 6 Taqwa is the 5th pick. Well, 3 and 6 are equal 4th pick.
Okay, it's run over a bit of ground. It's 1 mile, 1 furlong and about 149 yards. So it's about, well, I suppose close to 1,800 metres in our terms.
Exactly, for fillies and mares.
And a fillies and mares race, so a bit of a test around the Folkestone track. Now, at the track, number 3, Doris Suter, is the most fancied, and the second pick is Theatre Lady, one that Michael mentioned, and Bittersweet is the third most fancied. So that's the way the betting would suggest as the horses file around behind the starting stalls. A fillies and mares race over 1 mile, 1 furlong and about 149 yards. They have some varying distances in England. It's significant, Michael, that not that we're all that conversant with all of the jockeys in England, but there doesn't appear to be any of the top class riders at Folkestone.
No, you could see them when they're punching them out, over the final 2 furlongs. There, a lot of them look a bit ungainly, but yeah, but they get the job done, but in their own way.
Yeah, well, their riding style is, of course, vastly different to ours. Now, there's Doris Suter. We saw there in the centre screen with the jockey Pat Dobbs on board. And they're just slowly filling the barrier stalls. After this race at Folkestone, at 5 minutes past 2 Eastern time in Australia, we go back to Newmarket for the Dullingham handicap over a mile and a half, or 1 mile and 4 furlongs, or 2,400 metres. Take your pick. This field taking pretty good shape for the running of race 6. Fancied runners are the 3, 4, 5 and 9. Theatre Lady, Lisa Jones is the rider. Someone we're not too sure about. Anyway, we'll see how she goes as we go to Folkestone for the running of this race, where the caller is Ben Newton.
And away they go then for the Folkestone Fillies handicap. 1 mile, 1.5 furlongs, and Doris Suter got away very well on the inside and leads Peace Blur in the very early stages. A Grand Effort settles in third from Holly Rose, fourth on the inside, and then a length to Ali Macbull, 5 from Theatre Lady in 6th. Behind them, right back in the field, we've got Taqwa on the inside. Taqwa, as they continue down the back stretch and on towards the 7 furlong from home point. At the back of the field, Bittersweet and Petite Futé, and Rivelli is also towards the rear. And the pace has just steadied up front as Doris Suter leads past the 7 furlong pole for Pat Dobbs. To Peace Bleu and Steve Carson in the grey jacket in second position. Then the green and the sheepskin cheek pieces of Holly Rose third. The orange cap of Grand Effort, Grand Gift out wide. Followed then in 5th position by the purple and yellow of Ali Macbull. Dark blue Theatre Lady on the fence. Back in the field then to the pink and blue of Rivelli. And then the green of Taqwa with a noseband from the grey Bittersweet, giving them all a fair start. And then the black and yellow of Petite Futé, as they run towards the end of the back straight with 4.5 furlongs to go. And it's still Doris Suter betting to make all the running here from Peace Bleu into second position. Then Holly Rose in third to Grand Gift out wide in 4. Ali Macbull is in 5. Rivelli getting a little bit closer in 6th. And then comes Theatre Lady in 7. Taqwa is 8. Bittersweet is 9. And Petite Futé is last of the 10 as they come round towards the home turn and level up with just over 2 furlongs to go. And it's Doris Suter, tracked by Peace Blur. Then into third is Holly Rose. Grand Gift is in 4 to Ali Macbull. Well backed into 5th position. And then Theatre Lady in 6th. Grand Gift is in 7. Bittersweet is on the wide outside, and it's Holly Rose now who's hit the front inside the final furlong for Hayley Turner, but slipping up the very far fence is Theatre Lady, and it's Holly Rose who's going to beat Theatre Lady. Holly Rose, Theatre Lady, and then in third was Doris Suter from Petite Frutte in 4.
There it was, getting right up on the fence. Holly Rose, ridden by Hayley Turner. It had winkers and a shadow roll and everything on.
Yeah, it had every possible hope in transit. It was always just tracking the leaders. It veered out sharply under pressure there. The second horse got a rails run. Momentarily looked like it was going to make a race of it, but safely held on the line.
And the placings there were 2 Holly Rose from number 9 Theatre Lady and number 3 Doris Suter. Doris Suter was the favourite on track, but quite a nice win, as Michael pointed out, just had the nice cosy run behind them.
Yeah.
But it has got plenty of gear on, hasn't it?
Certainly has. The third horse there, Doris Suter, it led them up. I sort of said to you in the run there that the first 3 furlongs of the race, they seemed to go along quite strongly. Then they steadied mid-race, but it didn't have any answer for the first and second horse. It probably went a little bit too quick, but all honours with the winner there.
Quite amazing, those tracks there, Michael, too, that it's doesn't seem a long run in, but it was still 400 metres or 2 furlongs from the home turn to the finish. So, like, it's the equivalent of the Randwick Straight, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And there's the winner coming back, which was Holly Rose after the running. And Theatre Lady ran second, and the favourite Doris Suter was third. And that wraps up the program of racing from Folkestone. But stay with us, don't go to bed yet, because we've still got one more to go from Newmarket. Throughout this coverage of English racing, we've been harking back to the past, and I suppose one of the Australian jockeys who was a pioneer or lamplighter for Australian riders in Europe was the great Scobie Breezley. So let's go back to see one of his triumphs in the Great English Classic, the English Derby, and we go back to the year of 1966.
Floral favourites to favourites of a different colour. To Epsom for the richest derby in turf history, nearly £75,000 for the winner. In spite of the weather, the course was crowded, and from among a sea of umbrellas, the Queen and other members of the royal family watched Pretendre strike the main brace, Borodino and Grey Moss, the only grey in the race. And at this stage, Charlottetown, the joint favourite, having slipped a plate, is led back to be reshod. A long wait, long enough to put Charlottetown out of favour with many of the punters. Pretendre, with 20-year-old Paul Cook up, is now a joint favourite with Right Noble, ridden by Lester Piggott. Pretendre again. Drevno, Calican. And the bookies get busy again as they see Scobie Breezley and Charlottetown back in the parade, still a potential danger. 25 horses at the start. 10 French challengers had been barred following an epidemic on the continent. Now St. Puckle among the leaders with Phalanx. Right Noble challenging St. Puckle for the lead. Tattenham Corner and Right Noble still there. Black Prince moving up. Behind them Pretendre, Sodium, Charlottetown holding back. The long climb home and Black Prince is pulling away, but Pretendre is coming up fast. Sodium keeps in touch. Charlottetown in on the rails. Pretendre takes over, but Charlottetown's up with him. It's neck and neck till Charlottetown forges ahead and keeps there. Charlottetown wins with Pretendre a close second, Black Prince 5 lengths behind, then Sodium. Toby Breesley, fully recovered from his fall 2 days previously, and blue-ribboned winner Charlottetown, the horse that lost a plate but went on to win Epsom's richest prize.
We're getting ready for the final event of our English coverage. It's at Newmarket, it's race 7, and it's over 1.5 miles or 2,400 metres. Had fun, Michael?
Marginally. This is marginally sitting next
look,
to you.
I've got to tell you this, that I think he is absolutely enveloped with frustration because he hasn't been able to have a bet.
No, not that at all. It's a bit hard to follow the form, but this race is a bit of form content here. The top weight's the favourite, Reveille, but it won at this at Newmarket its most recent outing over today's trip, which is 1.5 miles or 1 mile and 4 furlongs. It beat Pinchin Cha. It ran second in the same race. It led it up, and the third horse, Ampule, it was also up on the pace before it tired a little bit when it ran third in the same race. So there is a little bit of form there. The place getters are returning to do battle here.
Yeah.
As I said, the top weight's the favourite from number 4, which is Factor 15. It's the second favourite, and the third favourite is number 7, Night Sight. It's a little bit better than each way odds.
Now, Michael, I suppose it probably might be a bit rare. One of the top riders in England is Kieran Fallon, and he hasn't ridden a winner at Newmarket on this program. And he rides Factor 15.
Yeah.
So he's probably due for a win, you would think.
Yeah, well, he's on the second favourite here, Factor 15, and it's as I said, it's well in the betting. It was 11-4 favourite when it finished in mid-division. It stayed on to press winner when second of 12 behind a Castleshane at a track called Redcar. That was over 1 mile and 2 furlongs. That was in June, so it may have some chance, but as I say, the form seems to be around that recent event at Newmarket over 1 mile and 4 furlongs that Reveille was successful, beating Pinchincha and Ampule.
Can't help you much with the jockey of Reveille. It's a jockey called Oscar Urbina, and I've got to confess I've never heard of him, but he's on the favourite, so there must be some rap on him. Coincidentally, or incidentally, Kieran Fallon's got quite a good record over in England, and he is one of the top-ranked riders, so you would hope that Factor 15 could race well for him here. Well, let's go to trackside now at Newmarket for the final few words before they jump in race 7.
Would have hoped when it was bred it'd be a sire, but it hasn't that level of ability, so it's significant, I think, that he's kept it in training.
Yeah, Mark Winstanley's Gallop Man came over, well, Mark Winstanley himself came over and said, you know, if he worked within a stone of well, if he ran within a stone of the way he works, so he'd go well. Night Sight was the one. Just remind us why you quite liked him.
I liked him on form. He's let me down a bit on the paddock, though. You know, he's sweating, and he's sweating a way I don't like. But his overall form has been, you know, consistent.
Solid,
he's just
tough, genuine.
Yeah, knocking on the door in these sort of handicaps. Doncaster, he runs well there, long straight and that sort of thing. But the top one, I think, looks the best.
OK, I think he'll probably win as well. Let's cross to Barty for the final call of the July meeting.
Golden Lariat's in, and Ampule is going to be the final one to walk forward into stall number 1, just hanging back a little bit. Comes forward now, and they're ready. And they're off. 1.5 miles in front of them. Ampule just ridden along a stride or two from leaving the gates. Majlis and Starcross just getting in each other's way towards the back of the field early on as Pinchincha and Neil Callan go through to lead with the red sleeve jacket. Golden Lariat, the chestnut, sits in second place, and on the outside of this is Ampule showing in third. Factor 15, not settled particularly well for Kieran Fallon in the early stride, shows in fourth place. The colour change Night Sight in the yellow, the blue stars races next from Reveille, who's to the inside of Starcross with the red sleeves, and that still won't settle. Then comes Majlis in the yellow and black, and the back marker, a dark green, of King's Crest. As they go through the first few furlongs then, Pinchincha leads them on to the turn. Golden Lariat, Jamie Spencer a length behind in second place. Then comes Ampule in third from Factor 15. Jimmy Quinn has decided to bring Majlis through the field. It's gone from the back to race in 5th place now. Moves ahead of both Nightsight and Reveille as they straighten up down the home 7 furlongs. And the back 2 are King's Crest up on the outside of Star Cross. The lead, though, is still with Pinchincha against the rails. One out from it is Golden Lariat in 2nd place, and then wider still is Ampoule showing in 3rd place. Ampoule is now being tracked by Majlis, Factor 15, just in behind the front 2 against the rails, and then comes Reveille behind this in company with Nightsight. And then King's Crest has been brought to the outside, begins to make a little bit of progress. And Star Cross is still at the back of the field. Past the halfway stage, then Pinchincha in front, just having to work to maintain this advantage. Golden Lariat sits a half length behind in 2nd place. Ampoule is rode along in 3rd. Then comes Factor 15. Majlis shrugging a little bit at this stage, about to be passed by Reveille. The favourite's made its way through into 5th position now. Then comes King's Crest up on the outside. Down towards the last couple. Pinchincha might be struggling, but he's hard to get past. Golden Lariat shows in 2nd place, and then comes Reveille on the outside. Factor 15 is trying to burst through. Ampoule still there with a chance as they head down. A little over a furlong to go, and it's Golden Lariat now. Jamie Spencer take the lead from Pinchincha. Factor 15, Kieran Fallon on the outside. Reveille is widest of all. Golden Lariat's got the lead though, and is standing now as they head up towards the line. Gone on by 2 to 3 lengths. Reveille, Factor 15 fighting out, but only 2nd, because Golden Lariat won. Reveille was 2nd, then Factor 15 and Pinchincha.
Well, that was a shot in the dark. We've got something right. Well, I've got something right. You've got the rest of the card right throughout the afternoon. I just thought there's no hype for one of Sir Michael Stout's horses that, you know, he was quite positive about it earlier on. They've gone an absolute crawl, haven't they, throughout? And I think that probably hasn't played into the hands of Reveille.
No, he did well to get as close as he did, and you see he has to pull 5 wide here as well, whereas Jamie is on the rails on Golden Lariat and had the run of the race. He was nicely positioned behind Pinchincha all the way.
They were very much stacked up, weren't they, a long way out, and we did think this is not suiting Reveille. He's got probably 5 or 6 in front of him. He's had to come round them, and he's done well to finish 2nd. I do think when things fall his way, he'll be a progressive horse to 2nd.
Yes, he certainly looks that way, and that you know, he goes so well on this summer ground, and there's another nice handicap or 2 in him, I would say.
Well, Jerry, it's been a wonderful, wonderful day. The Australians were absolutely delighted. A post note on Choisir. I think negotiations are taking place at the moment as to what happens to him. I think there could be a little bit more in the papers tomorrow. But well done, Sir Michael.
There we go. That was our coverage of racing from England. What did you think overall, Michael?
Oh, it's very interesting. You know, a little bit frustrating trying to do the form on the horses with what was supplied to us. But yeah, enjoyable to watch, and some of the different riding styles of the jockeys and that. But yeah, that was a good solid win by that winner there. It had every chance in behind them, but Choisir, gallant in defeat.
Absolutely. In the July Cup, ran 2nd, but gee, it's been a great trip to England for him. And I suppose the question now is he has been nominated for another race in about 3 weeks' time, I think, over there. Another group race, Group 1 race, but you just wonder whether Paul Perry would go on, but
my understanding is that the horse is coming home. That's what I've been led to believe.
They apparently over there they take nominations well ahead, you know, of the race. So I suppose they thought, well, we'll nominate. Who knows? If
he's had 3 reasonably quick runs.
Absolutely.
You know, this campaign. I think he's acquitted himself in grand style, and it's probably time for him to come home. And I think his next mission's the Hong Kong Sprint.
Yes. Well, if he wins over there, that probably adds more value to him. They are talking in the terms of 12 million. Do you think that's a reasonable figure?
Oh, I'm not a breeding buff, mate, but, you know, I just think on what he's done, you know, the hype's there about the horse. He's had interest from all corners of the globe. You know, you can never undersell Paul Perry's achievement to take the horse over there. I know it was he was originally going to Singapore, and the SARS virus, they had to alter their plans, but, you know, take a horse like Choisir, who, as we said earlier, was a little bit of a nutcase early in his career, but to take him over there and win those two races in succession, and then acquit himself well today, and Paul, you know, they footed the bill themselves. Like most of these times, they go to Dubai and they get invited to Hong Kong for the international races and that. You know, the jockey clubs, they pick the bill up, but they paid their own freight, and It's well documented that not sure exactly how much was won, but
Well,
they certainly didn't finish on the bad side of the ledger.
no, and it doesn't seem to have changed Paul Perry. He's still the same humble Novocastrian.
Oh, he certainly is. Certainly is.
Michael, thanks for your help tonight.
My
It's
pleasure,
been an
Rodney.
interesting
Yeah,
experiment.
it certainly was.
You're probably used to later nights better than me, but at least we've come through it.
Well, it's not too bad for me. Thursday night's a night I normally go out anyway, so it was just, you know, not at the bar, just sitting at this bar with you.
Yeah, well, maybe too much information. Hope you've enjoyed it. Our coverage of English racing from Newmarket. Sadly, Schwarz couldn't win, but as Michael said, was far from disgraced. And my thanks again to Michael Fraser for getting us through this program. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon.
Oasis Dreamer, big danger on the outside. Bahamian Pirate, third A-Wave runs on, but she's got 4 legs to find. Oasis Dream just in front. Schwarz battling all the way, but Oasis Dreamer's got the Australian horse Cook, and Oasis Dream wins the Darley July Cup. Schwarz second, an honourable second. Airwave third, zipping back in fourth, followed by Bahamian Pirate.
A race that lived up to all expectations.
Schwarz Airway chasing hard all the way to the line. Schwarz by half length to Airway, and Schwarz is holding Airway, and a remarkable Royal Ascot double for Schwarz for Australia, this time in the Golden Jubilee Stakes. Airway second, Barron's fifth, and Kingsland fifth.
Coverage